Hello, my name is Ashley Scher. I'm the founder and CEO of ShareLove.Fund. Today we're going to explore the Bhagavad Gita, section 1.25. Section 1.25 reads as follows. Then facing Bhishma, Drona, and all the rulers of the earth he said, Behold, Arjuna, all the Kurus gathered together. So this is the point where Arjuna has asked Krishna to drive his chariot in the middle of the battlefield so that he can see the cast of characters and know what's going on. In our prior video, we talked a little bit about the backdrop of the Gita. What happened before? What led up to this most epic battle and this allegorical story of the battle within? So in our past video, we were talking about how both sides went to Sri Krishna and asked for help. And Sri Krishna said, okay, I will help both of you. You get to choose. And Sri Krishna said, Arjuna, you're the youngest, and based on Indian custom, you can choose first. And Arjuna had a choice. Do I choose Krishna's entire army, or do I just choose Krishna with knowing that Krishna said, I shall remain impartial and I will not fight, and I'll be unarmed? And Arjuna chose to have Krishna unarmed. Arjuna chose to have wisdom, trusting that with faith that he could find his own solutions, and that stuff is just stuff, and if you don't have the wisdom to use it, it's not going to get you anywhere. And that stuff includes an entire army. So let us go back to this section. So Krishna says to Arjuna and Duryodhana, okay, you get what you want, he gets what he wants, good. After Duryodhana left, Krishna said to Arjuna, you got only me. I won't even take a sword or a bow. I'll simply be empty-handed. What can I do? And so this is a little bit of a test, Is Arjuna going to have buyer's remorse? Is he going to think, oh shoot, you're right. Like, gosh, you're just an old man. Arjuna laughed. Do you think I don't know who you are, my lord? Sir, I've been waiting for just an opportunity as this. If I enter the field of battle with you as my charioteer, the world will see virtue established just by being present. Please drive my chariot, take the reins. So we can think of the chariot with the 5 horses as a metaphor for the 5 senses of our physical body: taste, touch, smell, sound, etc. And professional athletes realize this all the time, and this is why we have an entire field of sports psychology. It's a mind game. Battle's a mind game too. So Arjuna is wise. He knows that if he has literally God as his advisor, he doesn't need a sword, because he not only has faith in a higher being, but he also has faith in himself. He's basically saying, listen, if you steer my reins, if you put me in the right direction, I've got this. And so it's pretty cool, because the Gita in so many ways is Arjuna kind of crying and whining and complaining, as most of us do privately in our own way, like, oh, I don't want to get up, this is going to be hard, like, what if they don't like me, what if I get fired, what if my business proposal fails, all the minutia, but deep down inside, and this is probably why Arjuna was able to prevail in this battle, deep down inside, Arjuna trusts himself. He trusts that with a good guide, with a sound mind, and in some ways we can think of Krishna as Arjuna's golf caddy. With a great caddy, he can get his mindset ready, get his A game on, and win this battle. Okay, so this is how Sri Krishna became the charioteer of the warrior Arjuna. Even after this, Krishna went to see Duryodhana and said, listen, there's still time. Can't we settle this peacefully? So in an earlier passage, we said that Krishna said, listen, you have to fight for what's right. You have to have righteousness rule the land. You have to root out sort of evil, even if fighting is necessary. So fighting is the last resort. So up until the very end, Krishna is trying to reason with Duryodhana. But Duryodhana plotted again. Before Krishna came, Duryodhana had set up a beautiful throne built for him as if he were receiving Krishna with honors. But the throne was set on small reeds with a huge pit below. So it's kind of like a booby trap. Duryodhana was foolish enough to think he could destroy the Lord himself. So this is sort of the epitome of arrogance. If Krishna and hubrism, and we see all through history when people become hubris, then they fall. And the idea of absolute power corrupts absolutely. Krishna came in, and of course, knowing everything, he sat down on the throne. When it broke, he remained seated in midair over the pit. Then he said, I'm sorry to see that nothing can help you now. You have decided to destroy yourself. And this is also why the Gita is an allegory for the war within. So sometimes when we burn bridges, we're actually just hurting ourselves. It's more about the damage that it's going to cost us than about the relationship with the other person. Sri Krishna returned to the Pandavas and said, everything was prepared for the war. And that is the backdrop of how we get into this epic battle. And that backdrop was relevant to section 1.25, because section 1.25 of the Gita is when Arjuna says to Krishna, drive me to the middle, drive the chariot to the middle. I want to see the faces of the people I'm fighting against. Namaste.